Hey there YouTube, Full Throttle here with a brand new deck profile. This is going to be a channel devoted to Cardfight Vanguard. Let's get right into the deck profile right now. Alright, so for our grade 0 lineup, we have as our starter Undying Departed Grenache. It's Hollow Forerunner, Generation Break 1. When it's put into the drop zone from the rear guard circle, due to the Hollow ability, Countercharge 2. This is great because it makes it so much more counterblast efficient as a deck. Then we run 4 copies of Rough Seas Banshee. It's put into the soul from the rear guard circle. Then if you have a Grand Blue Vanguard, draw up to 1 card. You're able to draw on less than 1. You're allowed to draw none for some reason. Yeah. Then we have 4 vanilla crits. These 4 vanilla crits is just there for being crits. 4 Mick the Ghostie and family. It's hollow, and then Generation Break 1 when it's placed on the rear guard circle from the drop zone. If it's hollowed, I get to choose one of my other units, and then it gets plus 10k until that unit gets plus 10k until the end of the turn, and this unit gets, when it dies in any way, then I get to shuffle it back into the deck. And then Rick the Ghostie, heal trigger, self-explanatory. And now into the grade 1s. Alright, so now for our grade 1s, we run 1 copy, well, no, not 1 copy, 4 copies of Waterspout Djinn. Waterspout Djinn is a perfect card that can only protect the Vanguard, but if you have another copy of it in the drop zone, it countercharges, which is nice, because this deck uses a lot of counterblast, and Grenache will not always countercharge everything. Then we run 4 Tommy the Ghostie Brothers. It is a stride fodder, and that's always nice. We run 3 Dancing Cutlass. Dancing Cutlass is a great card. It's Soul Blast 2 when it's placed on the rear guard circle from any hand, drop zone, whatever. And you have a Grand Blue Vanguard. You may pay the cost, and if you do, draw 1, which is really nice. And then 3 Seven Seas Helmsman Nightcrow. Nightcrow is a great card. It's retire a rear guard. It's from the drop zone. Retire a rear guard, and then other than Nightcrow, and then call Nightcrow from the drop zone. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It makes it so that you can call Cutlass, and then you can then retire Cutlass to call Nightcrow to get magic numbers. All right, now on to the grade 2s. All right, for the grade 2s, we have ourselves 3 copies of Ruin Shade, with 1 being the SP version and 2 being the reprinted rare version. It is Vanguard Circle or Rear Guard Circle. When it attacks anything, mill 2 to get plus 2,000 power until the end of the battle. That's nice, because it allows for hitting magic numbers, and it also sets up your combos. Then we run 3 Seven Seas Master Swordsman Slash Shade. It's Combos 1 from the drop zone. Retire a grade 1 or greater rear guard. When your Seven Seas Vanguard attacks, you may pay the cost, and then if you do, call this and it gets plus 2,000 power. So it's an 11,000 power rear guard, which is nice because that means it hits for magic numbers. And then we run 3 Witch Doctor of the Rotten Sea Negrorook. It's hollow, and then when this unit attacks, it gets plus 2,000 power until the end of the battle. And then if it's hollowed, it gets another plus 5,000, so it goes for 16,000. And then we run 2 Skeleton Cannoneer. It's hollow, and then its other ability is Counterblast 1. Choose an opponent when it's placed on the rear guard from the drop zone, though. Specifically the drop zone. Retire an opponent's rear guard. Then if it's hollow, draw a card, which is nice because it allows for you to get a lot of advantage in. Alright, so now into the grade 3s. Alright, so for the grade 3s, we have 4 copies of Lord of the Seven Seas Nightmist. Nightmist is a break ride. It's a pretty good card. Its break ride skill is that when it's break ridden, call 2 Grand Blue cards from the drop zone to the rear guard circle, and those called units get plus 5,000 power each. Then 4 Seven Seas Sage Plegeton. It is Counterblast 2 from the drop zone. At the beginning of your ride phase, if you have a grade 2 or greater Seven Seas Vanguard, ride it as stand, and then when it's placed on the Vanguard circle, call anything from the drop zone and retire it at the end of the turn. Alright, now we're going to go into the G zone. Alright, so now we're in the G zone, so we are going to go into 4 copies of Loved by the Seven Seas Nightmist. It's act once per turn, counterblast 1. If you have a 7 Seas heart, call 2 rear guards from the drop zone to separate rear guard circles. Well, 2 units from the drop zone to separate rear guard circles, and then at the end of the turn, those called units die. Then 4 copies of Mist Phantasm Pirate King Nightrose. It's auto, Generation Break 2, counterblast 2, choose 2 face down. Well, its cost is to turn another one face up. It's choose 2 units from the drop zone and call them to separate rows to different rows to the separate rear guard circles, and that's when it attacks a Vanguard. That's when this attacks a Vanguard. Then 3 Demon Sea Queen Maread. It's counterblast 1, generate G flip, and discard 1. Call units from the drop zone equal to the amount of Mareads face up in the G zone, and then with their total grades being 4 or less, and then Maread gets the total power of all of them, kind of like machining Stag Beetle, but not with machinings, with just called units. Then 1 copy of Ghostie Great King Obadiah. Obadiah is when it's called, when it's stridden, you then search your deck for up to 3 cards, put them into your drop zone, shuffle, and then if 2 or more of those cards put into the drop zone were hollow units, then you can choose up to 1 Ghostie normal unit, call it behind Obadiah. And then we have 2 Deep Corpse Dragon. Deep Corpse Dragon is a G-Guard, mill 2 to get 5,000 shield, and then 2 Metal Element Scryew. This is quite a valuable card right here. Well, not as valuable as these 2, but it's creeping up there. It's a Cray Elemental, so it's all clans and nations, and then its ability is if you have 1 or more face-up G units in your G zone, then you can pay the cost of discarding a card, and then it gets another 10,000 shield, so it's really nice. Alright, so that's the deck. Thank you for watching. This is Full Throttle here. So this is going to be a channel that's got deck profiles. I'm gonna have some matches in between stuff. Gonna have some deck discussions maybe. Hopefully some stuff involving other Vanguard YouTubers, in the area, because there are quite a few of them here. So yeah, this is Full Throttle, going in at top speed, and bye.